Hello and welcome to the Gay and Straight Talk podcast. We discuss and dissect things and subjects of conversation from a gay perspective and a straight perspective. I'm Jonathan,
I'm Paul.
and today we are talking about PDA, cute or cringe. Now, up until there's a TV show in the UK, like Married at First Sight,
Oh, don't.
and I had no idea what PDA was. I thought it was like a personal display
Well, yeah, I'm
thing.
sure there was
There
the
was like,
same initials for like those
but
palm
but but
things.
but for the Palm Pilots
Yeah.
from like Scion or something. So I was like, what's going on? And then it's like personal displays of affection.
No,
So cute or cringe?
it's horrible. I mean, well, to be fair, if I see a couple of, I don't know, like 15, 16-year-olds
With a
when I'm walking the dog,
general aroma of Tommy Girl and Lynx.
yeah, and they're just sort of, they can't get their hands off each other. I don't find it as cringe as when I see adults doing it because it's like they're young, it's the first, they're full of hormones, they're full of adrenaline, they just can't get enough of each other. And it makes me laugh because I remember being that age. But when I see grown ups doing it, when I see adults like in a pub and they just, you're trying to have a chat with someone and they've got the girl sort of against them facing and you're trying to talk to the dude
Uh,
and they're sort of holding on. It's like, get off. She's not going to run off. You can do that.
she might do.
That's probably why he's holding on. It's like you can do that anytime you want. Why do you have to do it now when
Yeah.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you in a public place?
You-
I hate it. I despise public displays of affection. Holding hands, I can deal with because it's just like, all right,
I can cope with the whole holding hands thing. When we lived in Manchester, when we lived in the middle of the gay village, it was fine holding hands, that sort of thing. We don't really do it. And when we lived in sort of South Manchester, because that was like more open and everything, I suppose we could do it where we live at the moment in a little Cheshire market town. But no,
well, that's the thing, isn't it?
I
Like,
mean, so with the gay, it's only recently that you can do it. And in fairness, I feel sort of it. For me personally, it's not. It's not really on the radar. It doesn't really upset me for people holding hands or anything like that. But I see what you mean when people are sucking each other's faces off,
yeah,
and especially slightly,
hands down pants, and it's like, what are you
like
doing?
fumbling around the meat and veg.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like get off.
But it I think I'm kind of proud of the gay movement when you see schoolboys holding hands, and that is
Wait, you see schoolboys holding
holding
hands with
hands.
other boys?
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've never seen that.
Well, and it was quite revolutionary because my brother was like a trainee gay until he married an Irish Catholic girl. So
Trainee gay.
yeah, I think he slept with more men than I have.
It's half the
But
population.
Anyway, but that's a completely different story to unpack. I know. I would say on the Patreon. Yes, Paul has yet to set that up. We can unearth all of that
Got some
juicy
topics for it, though.
juicy, yeah, X-rated. But in my brother's sort of when my brother's 10 and a half years younger. I mean, I'm 52. My brother's 10 and a half years younger. And I've not spoken to him for years, but that's another Patreon story. But he growing up at school, there was gay guys at school, like 15, 16, and they were out in school.
What?
And it was a lot more acceptable. But then again,
Where did he
when
go to school though? Was it like a bit of a middle class type
yeah,
thing? Because I mean, I'm not
if
far
there's
from your brother's age,
David,
and you couldn't
David
in
went
my
to the
school.
same school as I did.
Right.
It was a grammar school when I went, and then it went to they got rid of the grammar school. They merged with the secondary modern, but they kept on the same site. We had the same teachers and stuff like that. But uh, but then again, growing up, I was always me. And although I wasn't holding hands, I wasn't that blatant. I did sleep with a few of my school friends when I was 14, 15. Had a little dalliance with a few older gentlemen.
Dalliance is such a good word.
And this was back in the 80s.
Mm.
But I wouldn't have been snogging the face off in a public place. But now it is more acceptable.
Yeah, see,
But it was. But the thing is, that's the whole gay liberation. So much has happened with the gay liberation from like 60s. I mean, in America, it had the Stonewall. In the sort of 70s in the UK, we had the Pride marches where it said Section 21, which we had to abolish, where you couldn't have sex. Well, when I was growing up, as a gay man, you couldn't have sex until you were 21.
who polices that?
Well, it was out there. It was just it was to stop predatory gay men picking on underage boys who they didn't think they had the right mindset. But a lot of my friends that went to boarding school, Christ, they were like, because they're single, and I went to a mixed grammar school, so boys and girls. But a lot of friends that did go to all boys boarding school, they were shagging each other left, right, and centre.
Mm.
But it wasn't. It was like that. It was a furtive thing rather than a blatant thing. But now it's just, I think holding hands. I think it's really kind of sweet, but we're just stepping down from having a pub, which was don't do that, boys and girls. That was like a mind fart. Um, but when you have like older people snogging each other in the furtive corners of the pub, and they're in like 50s and 60s, I mean, it's lovely they that they're in love and they're showing their affection,
Yeah, after a bottle of wine.
yeah, you just think. I mean, I think holding hands and a squeeze of a hand or a squeeze of a knee, but that's me personally, and I know what you mean with like people. I mean, like last night when we shut the pub, we thought, oh, we kind of fancy a burger, so we went down to the takeaway, like a greasy burger.
Hell yeah.
So further down the road, they've got like sort of the clubbing area and like sort of late night pubs, and they've got the other things. And outside, so there's two takeaways where you can get a really good greasy burger. And then we couldn't really be frigged because there was like sort of boys and girls like
Yeah.
like tickling the tonsils and sort of ferreting around, sort of like I wonder if there's going to be any unwanted pregnancies created from the back of the bins while having a kebab. And in the end, we went home and we did a frozen pizza. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
not
couldn't,
the same.
we couldn't be asked queuing because you just felt, oh, there's all this drunken sexual activity. And you
Yeah.
just think, it makes me feel a bit queasy. I think being able to hold hands, yeah. But this whole want to do it out in public, I mean, it's just like creating it's like a free OnlyFans, isn't it, in some
Yeah.
respects?
That's it. Like I say, holding hands, I'm not bothered about it. It doesn't do anything. It's like, all right, do it, fill your boots. But, and then if somebody's like, right, I'll be back in a minute, and they just give the partner a kiss, don't care, because it's just a quick
I
peck
think
and off they pop.
that's kind of cute,
Yeah,
but
because it shows that they still, like them, because a lot of people get so complacent and used to the partner, and then it's just expected, whereas people are still keeping it alive. I like that.
yeah.
But it's when it gets more and it's just not necessary. Like I say, people, when you're trying to talk to somebody and they're holding the partner, a little bit like a bear hug, and they're facing you as well, and you're just looking past the head,
I
or they're
think,
stroking their arm or something. You can tell they're distracted while you're talking. You're like,
but I think some people
get off.
really, really love that.
Yeah, but there's a
But
place. This
mm,
is what I mean. I mean, would you hold hands now? Like, would you walk through town with Rob and hold hands?
not in. We could in Nantwich if we wanted to, but it wouldn't be my kind of thing. What we did in Manchester,
Yeah, but did you just
and
stick to certain, like, say if you're in the gay village?
I think it or maybe it's my thing. I wouldn't. So when we had New Year's Eve at the pub, and we were working behind the bar, and so at Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, I gave him a kiss behind the bar, but that was just thing, but it wasn't like,
Uh.
no. Ugh.
So the
Um,
pub was full.
Pub
Scene.
was filled, but everyone knows that we're gay, so
Yeah.
it's not like a thing.
Do you still have the big pride flag above the door?
No.
So I saw that was missing.
So dear listeners, so we had a pub and it was run by a gay guy previously, and there was like there was gay flags everywhere. It was a bit seedy, and it was just like crappy ornaments everywhere, crystals, and we basically. Well, we did keep the rainbow flag out front for a while because we were told that it keeps the gypsies away, because sometimes the travellers can be a little bit
Yeah.
sort of, the travellers won't go anywhere near the gay flag,
Wow.
apparently.
So it's
Well,
like
so it's
like
sort
the
of
cross to a vampire.
it keeps that whole drunkenness out. But say the flag fell off, so we didn't bother putting it back up. But we sort of de-gayed the pub with regards to those like plastic unicorns and shit,
Yeah.
and just put sort of made it a little bit more country tweedy. But we seem to have pulled in another gay crowd, obviously, that spend a lot more. So yeah, but because I don't think we need to have. Well, maybe that's another topic of conversation where. Sort of like,
Alcoholic gays.
do labels help or hurt? I mean, because I think so 11 minutes. I think we're both in agreement, which is no fun for the listeners. Like,
Yeah, but I mean,
cute or cringe. I think cute if it's certain to a certain level. Very cringe when you're having to show that.
do you not think it looks desperate though as well? Like that's the thing I think I've got in my head. It's like say kids, they're just full of
when you
hormones, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, Klingon should stay on Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I think, what are you hiding? I mean, with the TV show Married at First Sight, there was the couple there was a woman that she was desperate for a relationship to work. She was nice enough in her own right, but she was a bit. I need PDA. I need PDA, and I was like, "What the hell's this PDA?" And the bloke, he was a barber, tattooed up to buggery, and basically they said, "Well, do you not find me attractive?" And he said, "Well, normally I go for smaller girls." So, and she wasn't exactly fat, but there were
She
thinner.
liked greasy burgers from takeaways.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
And but I'm not willing to queue for it. But on the show, there were a lot thinner girls. She wasn't fat, but there were thinner girls, and he was more attracted to the slightly more petite range. But then again, he was a bit ming in his own right. I mean, he was a barber, but he looked like he had a toupee on. So he wasn't God's gift. But when he looked at his house, you'd probably get on quite well with him because everything was
Because he
like,
wears a wig.
no, not because he wears a wig, because his house he had a range of trainers which were like queued up, were, like immaculate. He had he had that when they went to the houses. His house was a little 2-bedroom mews, but it was immaculate.
Yeah.
It was just very clean cut and immaculate. The second bedroom was like literally a walk-in wardrobe, where he had a wardrobe just with his clothes all uniformly lined out on hangers, and all his shoes were immaculate done. And she said, "Well, where's all my stuff going to go?" And I said, "I don't know."
In your own house.
In your house,
Oh,
because I think he was being he had his way,
yeah.
and
And you get so used to your own way and it's hard to let it go. But if
yeah.
you're on a show called Married at First Sight, you need to know why you're there.
Yeah, I mean, it is fascinating for the human condition.
It's
So,
bonkers. There's something wrong with everyone on the show because there is no way on
so you
earth.
have watched it.
No, I'm Married at First Sight. I don't need to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
I can figure that out.
When it first started,
No one's sane. You can't be sane to go on a show like that. You can't be a well-adjusted person.
you're not going to go on there trying to find your soulmate.
No, but you can't be well-adjusted.
But previously, they had experts, they had psychologists, they had sort of counselors. You had you had the professionals that were actually aligning people that they genuinely thought would get on. And now they've got like these pseudo experts. Well, I think we should go on it really. In fairness,
What,
Married
and
at
get
First
married?
Sight producers, if you want to have, um,
If you want me and Jonathan to get married at first sight,
well,
give us a
no,
shout.
no, no, no. Obviously, it was sort of I heart you love. Oh, wait, look, it's like a furry ball of spunk. It's great. But I think if you need to get on a couple, a gay guy and a straight guy,
Yeah.
and then we can actually
Nobody would get
if
it.
you want to have the problems, then we know how to create problems, but also I think we would probably be able to match up
I
the
wouldn't
right.
let anyone get married. I'd be like, there's something wrong with all of you. Why are you here?
Well,
Like,
I mean,
why can't you meet anyone
sometimes
normally?
it's like, well, maybe that whole thing is like, well, you are like road wreck in your own
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So the thing is, if you've got two road wrecks together, sometimes that could actually work because it is just like a disaster ready to happen. And plus, you're taking out the dating pool for at least 12 weeks. So
To save everyone
so
else.
the same people. It's like a mental ward where you're keeping them away from sane people for
Yeah.
that period of time. So that
Honestly, the idea of them shows, if I could fit behind me sofa, because it's against the wall, I'd be hiding behind it because of the sheer cringe at the idea of them.
But a
types
lot of that
shows.
was so on that show. It's just like that they want to see people getting it on. They want to have people like, oh well, I'm holding out for the right time, and you know full well that person after a couple of cheeky kebabs and a bottle of Lamborghini,
anything.
they would have been down on someone.
Yeah.
And the blokes would have been like,
Yeah, but that's the ultimate display of affection, isn't it? Publicly, because it's on
yeah,
TV. So
behind the bins after a greasy kebab.
they've
Yeah,
got to watch what they're doing because obviously
Yeah.
everybody knows and the parents see it, I imagine. If they-
Yeah.
You know, I assume some of them have got issues with the parents. Otherwise, they wouldn't be on that show. But it's, no.
But as that's that they want to see the PDA. But
Well, my message for PDA people out there is I don't want to see it. You might want to do it. But I'm just on the way to the shops to go and get more toothpaste. I don't need to see you, having a front piggyback with your partner in the middle of the street.
well, maybe that's the only way only place they can do it because they can't afford a house because they're poor. They can't afford to rent a travel lodge or even an exclusive Premier Inn.
It's disgusting. I can't stand it. I think there's a time and a place. Like you say, New Year's, quick peck on the lips for Happy New Year. People holding hands I can deal with.
Yeah.
People, I don't even like people putting their arm around each other because I just think they're not going to run off. I think that's what I look at it like. It's like everything's about a hold or a clinch. They're either holding them against them, they're holding them here. It's like,
I think some people like to be secure. When you
Did
see,
you think? I mean, it all looks like
But
it
then
stops people running
but
away.
it's also like it feels like owner and pet. I mean, you see some people with like these out of control cockapoos, and those cockapoos need to be touched, and when they're around, they need to be like to calm them down. They need to be stroked or they need to be addressed because the moment they're not being looked at or things, then they start playing up.
Yeah, they whimper on.
And they start barking at things like.
Don't do that. My dog will bark.
Well, George has been very super cute recently.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
'cause
been quiet today.
So I think he's getting used to me now.
Yeah.
It's only taken about 2.5 years.
Never mind.
But yeah, so PDA, cute or cringe? Cringe.
Straight up disgusting. Should be illegal.
Okay. I don't think it should be illegal, but I think it's nice for younger gay guys to be able to feel comfortable to show their thing, to show affection. But I think that's just like the gentle holding hands.
Yeah, I can deal with hand holding. It's
but
not
like
a
the
bother.
whole sort of like women's like ferreting around someone's like holding on and like hand down the trousers and.
Yeah, I went to Costa and there was a table with younger people, 4 seats, and there was 4 people, but only 2 seats were being used because the girls were sat on the guys' knees on the chairs, and they're all chatting on, and I'm just like, get off, sit down. You don't need to sit on that human. I don't know. Maybe I'm against love. I don't know.
You were clutching your pearls at that moment, weren't you?
Yeah, I was clutching the coffee, getting ready to throw
just
it at them.
rebutton up your twin set and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Just get off. Just leave them alone. They're not going to run away. So they sat on them to stop them running off. I think I just see
You're
it all.
much more passionate about it than I am.
I hate it. That's why.
I mean, I do find it a bit cringe, but I'm not really that. I'd say, yeah, when someone's maybe they've got nowhere else to go, that's why they're shagging
Maybe
each other.
because they're mostly younger who get it closer.
But no,
or older people are usually full of alcohol. But I also think it's because I have such an investment in privacy. So what goes on behind closed doors should stay behind. And I think then when it's more private, it's more exclusive. It means more. It's nicer.
Oh, I think
So I'm feeling it that
the
way as
general
well.
Hallmark moment.
Yeah.
But it reminds me a little bit because we were talking about because Oasis have recently sort of like reformed and they're doing their concerts and everything. And then so in the pub we were talking about there's a few people that have gone to the Oasis concerts and they were talking about their club days when they were doing sort of various clubs. I went to the Hacienda and they had the gay night on the Thursday. I went to Mr. Smith's when I was about 14, and Mr. Smith's was a nightclub in Warrington, like ooh, working man wire town. And they used to have a TV show called The Hitman and Her. It had Michaela Strachan and Pete Waterman.
Yeah.
And that's where the two dancers from Take That were in it. What are their names? But anyway, so I used to go there like when I was 14, 15, and the older crowd that went into Mr. Smith's to club, if the older guys couldn't get a younger girl from Mr. Smith's, there was this other pub, bar, clubby type place called Secrets. And Secrets is where it was like the second-hand club where you had the.
If you didn't get it on in the first place, that's where you ended up.
You would go there because that was where ladies of a certain age that had finished their first or second relationship went out hunting for man. So if you couldn't get a shag, if you were straight in Secrets, there was something monumentally wrong with you because you'd have your new love of your life for the next 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It was just like they were on heat. I went in there once. One of my mother's friends, Big Jane, she was big on everything, but she had really big knockers. And she knew how to dress to accentuate those. It was very sad because her husband had an affair and she was besotted with him, and then he traded up and then moved in 3 doors down. It was just like, it was a bit. And she had 2 sons, but she'd go out and she would get the man of the moment from Secrets. And it was just like, oh dear. But she was very popular and she liked the attention. But then she died of a heart attack in the kitchen.
In a kitchen?
Yeah. Very sad. I mean, she was a big girl, but her sons, I think the youngest had just hit 18, 19.
That's not good.
And literally came in and found her dead on the kitchen floor. And she was probably in like late 40s, but she was she was a big girl. And
so she was a big girl and she was found dead in the kitchen.
Yeah. The fridge door wasn't open. Sorry. But it was very sad. But my mother used to go and play Scrabble with her some nights.
Scrabble.
I know. She was very repetitive at Scrabble. She was very good at Scrabble. So she'd go out and she'd have a man of the week or the man of the would last a couple of dates and then it would fizzle out because.
See, I'd just rather not do anything than just keep bouncing from person to person. I just think it's less stress, it's less mess.
But I think it's just the next one's going to be better.
Yeah, it's a bit like gambling, isn't it?
It's just like, I'll show you how much I love you because look at what I'm doing. So I think there's a lot of insecurity in the people that do that. I mean, in the gay clubs, they're like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, this is the one that like sucking each other's faces off, and then then the one's gone to the toilet for a little bit long and then realises queuing up for a blowy.
But no, I'm going to draw a line under it, and I'm going to say
No.
public display of affection, anything past hand holding and a quick peck.
It depends what the hand's holding. So, dear listeners, PDA, public displays of affection, is it cute or cringe? Let us know in the inbox. Oh, well, if we might look at it and be interested, or he might just like tut and roll his eyes. Anyway, this is Jonathan signing off.
And Paul signing off.
Bye bye.